Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is not one of my best positions, but this is all I could do at this point. I'm at Antigua Airport in transit, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk about having an American visa while you're living in Tortola. You really have to have it, but it's good to have, right? You may As you may know, the British Virgin Islands is close to the U.S. Virgin Islands. And ever so often, we residents, we like to go across to St. Thomas, maybe any one of those islands there, and maybe to do some shopping or some sightseeing or, things like that, get our KFC. But in order to get there, especially if you're not American, you need an American visa, right? With that being said, my visa has expired right now, and I have to go and get it renewed. Now there isn't an embassy there isn't an embassy in the BVI territory, so we have the nearest embassy, American embassy, is in Barbados. So that's why I'm taking this trip to get my visa renewed. So I just want to let you know, like, let's say if you want to make a trip to St. Thomas and you don't have you're not American, you have to have an American visa to be able to go across it, even though we are so close. You have to have an American visa. Well, I'm from Trinidad, so I could have got my visa there, or you get your visa from Barbados, from Jamaica, and I don't think the other islands, if I remember correctly, have an embassy there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But so you have Barbados, one in Trinidad, one in Jamaica, right? So for convenience for us, it's easier for us to just come across here to Barbados to get a visa, either a brand new one or maybe to get it renewed and stuff. So that's it. So how I got here so far from Tortola, I came here with the airline, Inter Caribbean airline. Right now, it's a fairly new airline in the territory. From here now, I got a flight from here to Barbados. So hopefully I'll try and show you around a little bit of Barbados and my trip, how it has been, and if I was successful in getting my visa and things like that. In the Christmas season here in Antigua, decorations is lovely, and I was trying to get a good angle. But one other thing I want to mention too, on this flight with Inter Caribbean, I really didn't enjoy it at all, because I have for the past 3 years, just before COVID, I was going back and forth to Trinidad, and quite often, and I was going with Liat, and I guess I got spoiled with Liat Airline, even though they had issues and stuff. But Inter Caribbean Airline, this craft that we took today is much smaller. The overhead compartment is much smaller. I bought a little mini suitcase, hoping it would have been able to use as carry-on. They didn't accept it, so I had packed a lot of stuff that I was hoping to, maybe like a blanket or maybe a head cushion, neck pillow that I could use while waiting in Antigua. I had all of that in my suitcase, my little carry-on suitcase, but they didn't accept it, so I had to put it on cargo. And that plane was much smaller. I didn't enjoy the ride. We had a little issue, my husband and I. We sat down in the area where next to the wing, so in case if anything happens, they want you to be able to assist to open those doors in that area. My husband was just making a joke, and that didn't go too well, so they asked us to go to the back and stuff, go to another available seat, and then go into the back. It was a little too noisy for me, and I really enjoyed that flight. Our next flight from here to Barbados is the same airline, so I'm hoping it will be a little better. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. Alright, look out for more updates. Okay, one thing I want to mention too as well is that in order to get the application form completed for the American visa, of course you could go online and get this done, but to me I wasn't able to do that on my own. I just wasn't able to deal with that. So what I did was I went to a travel agency, and they offer the service where they assist you to fill out the form. Of course you have to pay a fee for that service. They helped me fill out the form and everything and do everything. They got the appointment to come and to do the interview. Now what happened is that my visa has expired more than, I think it's 4 years, so I had to go in and do an interview. There are certain countries that you don't have to go into the interview, but the visa must not be expired more than, I think it's 4 years. It has a time frame where it mustn't be expired for you not to go in for an interview. So both my husband and I have to get our visas renewed. So I think his own expired more than mine. So we both have to go in and do the interview. For him, if it was expired within, let's say, 2 years, he wouldn't have had to go in. But for me, regardless if it's 2 years or not, I would have had to go in because of where I'm from, just to share a bit of information with you. Hope I was clear. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section below, and I'll try and answer as much as I can, whatever I know. Okay, I'm doing these bits of pieces of information before I forget. One thing I want to share too as well. We are just staying a few days. Today is Tuesday. We're gonna arrive in Barbados this afternoon, and we'll have tomorrow's Wednesday. We just have Wednesday to do nothing, just enjoy the island, and then Thursday we're gonna have the interview at the embassy, and we're gonna leave at Thursday afternoon. Now, we're not gonna get back we're not gonna get the visa stamped on our passport right away because we need the passport to travel, right? Now, the reason that we didn't stay longer to get back the visa on our passport is because I think I was told it will take quite a few days. I think about 6 or 7 days for that process to be completed. So we decided we're not going to stay that long. So what we'll have to do when we get back home to Tortola, I'll have to send the passport back to Barbados so they can stamp it with the visa, and then they will send it back to us send back the passport with the new visa. So I just thought I would share a bit of information with you, and before I forget. All right, later. Okay, so we arrived here safely yesterday. That was December the 6th, right? The second part of our trip from Antigua to Barbados. The flight was much better. That aircraft was a bigger aircraft. It facilitated much people. The flight was much better than the first flight. I felt so much more comfortable until I slept until we arrived in Barbados. And to get through immigration and customs, it was a breeze. Was totally different. Nothing I experienced before. We had to do they had terminals where you had to electronically enter information instead of having to speak to a physical immigration officer. This is something totally different to me. They scan the passport, you just go through the different options, and electronically at the particular terminal, you took a photograph, and then you got a printout of the information that you provided for them, and then we just head on to basically collect our baggages, which had a little issue, but it wasn't a big problem. Picked up our baggages. We had nothing to declare and just went through customs area. It was really easy. I must say I'm totally impressed. And then we went out to get our taxi. When we first got there, the person who was supposed to pick us up wasn't there. But I shouldn't say he wasn't there. He was there, but we were kind of slightly a bit late in getting out of the terminal because of the luggage issue. We saw a taxi dispatcher who was there, and he basically was saying that these Airbnb people, they are not so reliable. But what happened was, well, I didn't hook onto the Wi-Fi when I got to the airport, so I wasn't able to tell my host that we were there and everything. So he came on time, but apparently, well, he just was making rounds in his car until we came out of the airport. So he was there already on time, just that we came out late, So this particular person, the dispatcher, was giving us bad information about this Airbnb service, which was incorrect. So he picked us up and took us to a place where we are staying right now, a very nice place. The host, he is very, very impressive. Great service. And yeah, so today we just relaxed. Today had something to eat, relax, and tomorrow we get up very early and head to embassy, and I'll give you an update on that, how that goes and how it went. Okay, so we are back in Tortola, right? Today is Saturday. We returned on the 7th. We returned on Thursday afternoon, right? So we went after my last video clip. We went to the embassy on Thursday morning. We left our place where we were staying, our Airbnb, I think around 6:30. And I estimate we got to the embassy maybe about 7 o'clock, 7:15, because we didn't wait there too long. there were quite a few people there already, and after we arrived, people there were no more sitting accommodation, so the other people who came afterwards had to stand. But we didn't wait there for too long. They started to call in the people who had appointments for 7:45 and then 8:45, and then they guided us through the area. It was very organized, I must say, and they had to do some initial checks our passport, the documents that we need to have, and they basically took our like electronics and stuff, other things that we may have with us that is not supposed to go in the area. They put it in like trays and stuff, and I guess if people had like baggages, they had a locker area system that they could put like suitcases and stuff. So we went through the area. It's very tight security, and to be honest, we came out there maybe about, let's say, no later than 9:30, because like I said, our appointment was for 8 o'clock, and 7:45 they started to call the people who had appointments, and it was pretty good. And we thought we would have been hustling to the airport, you know, because we said, okay, we're going to check out of our Airbnb one time. We will just go to the embassy and head to the airport, thinking that, you know, it might have been a hustle. And we were surprised at it didn't take us very long. So at the interview, they didn't ask us much questions. They hardly asked me, because my husband and I, we went together. We like as a family unit, right? And they asked him one simple question based on what they saw on their system with information. They went through the fingerprint check system that they normally would do, and they asked me, I don't think they asked me any questions. Let me see if I can remember. It was just, if they did ask me any question, it was one question. Oh, I remember now. It was like basically where we're going to stay basically on the mainland USA, because our focus is basically to go St. Thomas. So when they say mainland, I mean like New York, Florida, that sort of thing, right? That's what I mean. So we said we are going to go in St. Thomas for shopping, mostly spend like a day and come back. That's what we said. And he asked my husband basically, I think, one question, and that was it. But what he said was that he said the application will be denied, and I said, what? He said it again, but apparently, because what happened is we have to take the passports back with us so we could travel. So he said, what's going to happen? He has to, I think that's what I understood what he said. He has to deny the application until the passports has been returned to him. That's what he said. But I'm not worried. I feel confident it has been approved, because we don't really have anything, you know. But there was another, no, just to let you know that even though it was easy for us, we didn't have much questions. There's another guy who, you can actually hear what they were asking him anyway, which we found was kind of like odd, because where's the confidentiality there, right? They were asking him where is he staying, is he renting, does he have his own place, who is he staying at when he go to the States, and things like that, you know, a whole bunch of questions. Another young lady, they were asking her, which I understand, she apparently looking for a work permit. Sorry, not a work permit, a work visa. So they're asking her her qualifications, where she studied, who she's going to stay by, who she's going to work with, and things like that. So they were asking her more in-depth questions. So just to be alert, all the questions that they're being asked is not a fast rule. Each interviewer is different. They ask probably different questions. Depends on the interviewee, right? So everybody's situation will be different. So even though ours was easy, not much questions, somebody else might be different, might ask more questions. But the interview process didn't take long. They said in the advertisements about 2 to 3 minutes, and each person, even though they're asking a few more questions, quick guys, quick. You hear that rumble? Oh! Oh! Oh, got that live. Oh, my heart beating. Hey, that reminds me of a earthquake in Trinidad. Maybe about 2018, but it was rougher than this. Wow. Anyway, I will end this video. Before I go, I had to return the passports yesterday through DHL to get them stamped with the visa. So when I get back my passports in hand, I will do another video
with my visa stamped on my passport. All right, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.